Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Is this thing on? Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Mongo, Pah Pah Pow. Greetings and salutations. A special small video here for a special cause. A new content creator, Max Q Aerospace, Marcus, has reached out to me and asked me about the Saxavord Spaceport and what opportunities for the space industry are taking place in Scotland, which is a great question. And I just watched Max's latest video. His name is Marcus, I call him Max. So I just watched Max's latest video with GadgetNate, and they were both very, very sweet, really very kind video and very kind introductions. And that video about this video, and GadgetNate is actually Nate Price at the National Space Society in the chapter in North Houston, I think. And I've got a friend at the National Space Society in North Texas. That's Ken Ruffin. He's on the National Space Society Board of Advisors. He's been a friend of mine for years. And I'm not sure if I met those two together or not. But I love both of them. And so then I just watched a video that Max Q did with GadgetNate, and it was a great lead-in for this video. So you may want to go back and watch that video before you watch this one. Your call. Or you could go to Max Aerospace, and after this video, watch that video. Pah Pah Pow. Up to you. Very rare view to my life here in Key West. I'm usually up at Cape Canaveral, and my friend Caruso is right over there. Right there, Caruso. Pah Pah Pow. And I got my Key West One Human Family t-shirt on. Just got back from Saxavord in the Saxavord Spaceport in Unst, Scotland, where we put on Mike Mongo's astronaut job camp for the whole summer for 164 students around the world, and it was fantastic. So I was there when Saxavord, I was there when it was the Shetland Space Center, and it has evolved into the Saxavord Spaceport. Saxavord is the actual location on Unst where the main headquarters of the Saxavord Spaceport are located. There's also a launch site, which is over on a piece of a outreach from the island called Ska, and the specific little piece is called Lamines, which is probably too much information, but it was really interesting to me. One of the most interesting parts about where the launches are happening in Saxavord from the Saxavord Spaceport on Lamines. One of the interesting parts about that, one of the most interesting features of that is that where it's taking place is where the continental plates, like the actual spot where the continental plates meet. It's unbelievable, and yet that's the case. And it's a phenomenal location, and it's sort of important because the Saxavord Spaceport and Frank Strong and Yvette Hopkins and the whole team over there are dedicated to synthesizing the natural pristine beauty and the untouched nature of Unst with the future and the space program. So it's been combined and is developing into this amazing new way of doing space, the way that we have to go as a humankind as we migrate to space. And so we're not going to be launching astronauts from Unst. We are going to be launching satellites, and satellites are very important. In fact, they're important for Scotland and the UK because more satellites are produced in Glasgow than anywhere in the world except for California. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Is this thing on? Broadcasting live from the Anon astronaut mural here in Cape Canaveral. Astronaut Boulevard is right over here. The Cape Canaveral Public Library is right over here. Kennedy Space Center is right over there. Cocoa Beach is right over there. This is Space and Astronaut City. This is one of my favorite spots in all of Cape Canaveral. It really speaks to what this culture is about right here. I was just in Key West. I was talking about the aerospace industry in Scotland and the UK. I was mentioning about how microsats and small satellite industry are taking off in Scotland and the UK, that Glasgow produces more satellites than anyone in the world except for California. And that's a great place to pick up where we left off. People might ask, why are satellites so important? Which is a fine question. And the reason is because we get 50% of all the information about climate crisis from the small satellites that we put up that are very, very simple for us to put up. That every company could put up satellites. We have plenty of space. It isn't like there's one sphere of space that satellites go. There's depth to it. So we can put some further out and some nearer. And there's information that has to do with sustainability, information to do with borders, information to do with maintenance of resources. And satellites are one of those things that are just beginning as an industry. No matter how long we've been putting it together with satellites, now satellites are accessible and affordable to so many industries. Glasgow and Scotland and the UK has taken charge and begun leading the forefront, going to the forefront in that regard. I mean, more than anywhere else, more satellites are produced in Glasgow and Scotland and the UK than anywhere else in the world besides California. That's huge. Speaking of Scotland, one of the things I realized when I was working at the Saxavord Spaceport in Unst, Scotland, doing Mike Mongo's astronaut job camp for this past summer, is that I think that Scotland makes up about 7% of the UK. I think it's maybe about 9%, 7 to 9% of the UK's total population, but accounts for about 18% of all the aerospace jobs, which really speaks to Scotland's prowess in terms of technology and engineering, academics, and the opportunity for people to work in the space industry, which is really what I'm here talking on Max Q Aerospace about on Marcus's invite. And it's a great question. It's a great question. It's a great thought. It's a great suggestion. It's a great reason to have this discussion, because so many students don't realize that there are so many different kinds of jobs in aerospace, not just engineering. There is design, which is art. There's all kinds of business skills. Oh my Google. There's pretty much every industry. Veterinary. People ask me about space veterinary all the time. The UK has only just begun launching, and Scotland in particular, launching. Pretty soon, it's more than likely that at some point there will be human beings launching from the UK, because the UK is really working on leading and being at the forefront of this evolution of industry, moving a lot of the dirty industry that we have here on Earth up into space to solve for climate change. And that's one of the reasons that to solve for the climate crisis that we're facing. And that's one of the reasons I'm so dedicated to encouraging students to pursue careers in space and astronautics, because it's one of those things that we can really do. We can move all the energy production off the planet, because 90% of all the solar energy that hits the planet is deflected or diffused or defended against by our atmosphere. And we could have satellites outside the atmosphere collecting energy and beaming it back to Earth as microwaves. And that's with technology we have right now. That would undo the damage that is being caused by our relying on coal and oil. We can move dirty industries to space. So today's students, young students today, are going to be in those jobs tomorrow. Letting students know that that's the opportunity. And I said space veterinarian. We have space veterinarians right now, space lawyers. We have plenty of space lawyers right now. There's so many different ways to fit into I'm an astronaut teacher. I'm working on the launch team for Dr. Sion Proctor on the Inspiration 4 mission that's going up on September 15th. That's why I'm back in Cape Canaveral right now. It's 2 weeks until September. We're on our way. This is happening. And that is the first mission to space with strictly commercial astronauts. These are people who are not NASA astronauts. They are all independent individuals. They're all trained individuals. They've been training this entire summer to go to space. It's one of the best space missions that humankind has ever done, because it says that you and I can go to space. you and me, Marcus, Mike, all the students who watch us, all the science professionals who watch us. And I know this is an up and coming aerospace channel, but I'm here because I connected with Marcus, and his enthusiasm and his insight into where we're going in the space industry enrolled me into making this video. I'm super happy to be able to do it. So there's all these companies in Scotland like Orbex and Spire and Ecometrica and Clyde Space and Astrosat. Yes, there's all of these. You just Google Scotland space industry. It's pretty much the first link that comes up. There's so many space companies in Scotland and wider in the UK. And right now is the time. Just write emails or write letters to the owners and ask how you can fit in. Declare that you want to work in the space industry. Find the people that support you. Surround yourself with allies. And keep on going. There's going to be defeats. There's going to be setbacks. Don't let that stop you. I've been doing this for 14 years, and trust me. No, take my word at face value. When I started 14 years ago, there were no astronaut teachers. It was a brand new idea. Why would we need astronaut teachers? We're not sending that many people to space. Well, right now, SpaceX, who's doing the Inspiration 4 mission, is readying the Starship. And that's going to be able to carry 100 people up to space, which is where we need to be in order to get the rewards that we're looking for, which is the whole reason we're utilizing and dedicating ourselves to the space industry in the first place, to solve the challenges we face here on Earth. We can solve all the challenges we face here on Earth by solving for space. We can solve for health, we can solve for energy, we can solve for as Dr. Cyan Proctor says, Jedi space, justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. That's accessibility. We can solve for even the illusion of scarcity, that there's not enough for all of us by solving for space. And that's what's on the table. And that's why I'm encouraging you, viewer, and Marcus, keep up the good work, and all the friends and family. GadgetNate said the most amazing, he gave me the nicest compliments. It was just terrific. In the last video, the last MaxQ video, and Nate Price from National Space Society. By the way, Nate Price was with National Space Society Houston, North Houston chapter, I think. So I have a friend, Ken Ruffin, who was with the National Space Society North Texas, and he's one of the board of advisors for the National Space Society. So you just find these organizations. There's SEDS, there's UK SEDS, Students for the Exploration and Development of Space. Reach out to UK SEDS. They're a fantastic organization. I know Craig and Christina at UK SEDS, and they are amazing. And reach out to organizations. If there's not an organization where you are in your school, then set one up. If you want to have a Yuri's Night event, Yuri's Night events happen every April 12th or thereabouts, everywhere around the world. You can have 2 people together and have a Yuri's Night event. It's amazing. Go to yurisnight.net. Go to SEDS, Google SEDS, UK SEDS, Google SEDS, Students for the Exploration and Development of Space. Google National Space Society. There's chapters everywhere. This is the time. Get in. This is the time. Do not wait around for somebody to invite you to be involved in the space industry. Declare that that's what you want to do. Declare it. If you don't declare it, no one's going to know it. I wouldn't know. The people around you who believe in you wouldn't know it. Marcus reached out to me, cold reach out, and invited me to make this video for him, to be part of MaxQ Aerospace. And I grilled him to make sure that he was really about it. You can ask him. I really put it down. I wanted to know what he was about, and he enrolled me, and that's how to do it. And it doesn't pay to be shy at this time. These jobs are only going to increase. There's only going to be more and more of them, and you get to be part of it. My name is Mike Mongo. I'm an astronaut teacher, and you have permission to imagine yourself living, working, and playing in space. And that's my message. Thank you, Marcus, for inviting me. Thank you, Nate Price and GadgetNate for you can look him up on Twitter, GadgetNate, and for all the kind words you said on the last episode of MaxQ Aerospace. Watch for the Inspiration 4 mission. Google that. Dr. Cyan Proctor, follow her on Instagram and Twitter. And my name is Mike Mongo, and I have only love in my heart for you. In the words of my people, live from Cape Canaveral, Pah Pah Pow.